Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Friday, October 22nd. There's some important news I want to share with you today on the $2 trillion social and climate change package. A lot's happened this past week, so I'm going to give a quick update there. Bottom line, a deal seems closer. It seems like something will happen. And like I've said over the past few months, this package, in whatever final form it takes, will affect every single person in the U.S. There's important things for education, childcare, healthcare, the economy, energy, and so much more. And of course, this is tied with the infrastructure package. I'll share the news here briefly. Most importantly, thanks for tuning in. Before you go enjoy your weekend, hit the like button. We so appreciate it, all of your support. And if you're new, subscribe to join our community, turn on the alerts. I've got big news coming next week, only for subscribers. Okay, I'll keep it short, so watch until the end. Here it is. Democrats explore tax on billionaires to help fund the $2 trillion package. President Biden met with top lawmakers throughout the week, by the way, to iron out these remaining disagreements. We all know the major holdups. The conservative Democrats and the progressive Democrats can't meet. Manchin and Sinema, in particular, have been pushing back on the $3.5 trillion number, lowering it. It looks like we are around $2 trillion now. But here's what came out of the Wall Street Journal. Top Democrats hope to nail down an outline for the legislation in the coming days. They're racing to meet an October 31st deadline. That's next week. That October 31st deadline is for the $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Democrats have tied together both of those. Pelosi said this: much of what we want to do has been written, just a few decisions now. Central to the negotiations that are left is figuring out how to raise enough revenue to cover the spending in the legislation. Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona has thrown many of Democrats' proposed tax increases into jeopardy, maintaining that she won't support any increases in marginal tax rates on corporations, capital gains, or individuals. Again, those proposals were the major items that were going to help balance this budget. So now Democrats are trying to find a series of alternatives, including a new annual tax on billionaires' unrealized gains. So if you're a billionaire watching this, I'm sorry for that. And of course, thanks for tuning in. Other possibilities appears open to include an excise tax on stock buybacks and a 15% minimum corporate tax rate designed to raise taxes on companies that are paying low rates now because of legal use of tax breaks. Okay, besides how to pay for it, there are some policy changes. Much of the details on what will be funded have been decided. Here's a big one here. He said legislation wouldn't include 2 years of tuition-free community college. That was a big part of the proposal. There was also a 12-week paid leave proposal. That likely won't happen. It'll stay to 4 weeks. There was also the proposal of expanding Medicare to cover vision, hearing, and dental care. That may not have enough support to make it into the final bill. Biden says policymakers are discussing an $800 voucher for dental coverage. The president also acknowledged that a $150 billion program aimed at pushing utilities to generate more electricity from clean sources won't be part of the final bill. We all know the likely culprit there. Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia has pushed back on that to keep the coal industry strong in his state. But it's not all bad news. Still expected to be part of the bill is universal pre-K, subsidies for childcare, and a series of tax incentives for clean energy sources, among other measures. Democrats still need to reach an agreement on the bill's healthcare provisions. What comes out here, which is part of the reason why I like to talk about this in the videos, is because these are major programs. To Democrats' dismay, according to this article, not many voters know what's in the $2 trillion bill. It really is a big deal. I'm not one for hyperbole. Lawmakers acknowledge the stumbles in explaining details of the social policy and climate package. Nearly all of the conversation has been on the price tag as opposed to what's in it, which frankly is to be expected when you're talking about such large numbers. Senator Dick Durbin from Illinois said this: "We gave them, as in the general public, too much to swallow. Too many elements in that package. I think we're going to have something more focused, and we have to be very clear to America as to what the benefits are," which is true in anything. Sometimes in these videos, I have a lot to cover. I mention a lot. Today, I'm just focusing on this because I don't want to overwhelm anyone with too much information. Bottom line is that something will pass here. It's going to impact education, healthcare, childcare, and climate change. We've ran polls in the past on this channel with mixed results. Some of you support both this package and the infrastructure package. Some of you support only one, not the other. Some of you support neither of them. I'll run the poll again next week. Hopefully by then we'll have some more news on the final bill, and I'll try to explain it to you and how it would affect you depending on your situation, your family situation, your socioeconomic situation, etc., etc. So that's the big news, but we also have lots of good stuff up on our blog. For example, earlier today we put up a piece, EIDL for sole proprietors and independent contractors, everything you need to know. I'm going to talk about it in tomorrow's video, but if you want to get ahead on this, feel free to read it on the app or blog tonight. 7 necessary steps to take after receiving your EIDL loan, how supply chain bottlenecks are going to affect the holiday season and beyond, and so much more from this past week. Finally, the biggest news of all, the big deal, this EIDL cash flow analysis tool we put up about a week ago. It's been used by tens of thousands of you to figure out, will an EIDL loan officer approve my EIDL increase or not? I'll just do one quick run through of it, but if you book one-on-one support, we have very limited spots. We just opened up 10 more for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. You can go to eidl.me or use the link right at the top of the description. Book it now before the weekend, and we'll be able to talk to you early next week. We can run through this, your schedule of liabilities, your cash flow analysis, and so much more. We're proud to have helped thousands directly just over the past few weeks. But in red here is what I want to call your attention to, because these are the new things that will affect the final approval, your annual business debt service. The loan officer will see, okay, how much do you have in annual debt? What does that translate to in monthly payments? And when they subtract that number from your net income, and are you still cash flow positive enough to pay for the total EIDL loan amount you're requesting? Just a note, if you're using this calculator, be sure to put down your total EIDL loan amount here before you calculate. So in this case, once you fill out a few fields, you'd be able to hit calculate here, and you'd see your outcome should be eligible for an EIDL loan request. It goes over the key numbers to keep in mind. We've heard that people have taken a snapshot of this in reconsideration letters to say, look, I've done the cash flow analysis myself. Here's what it is. Hopefully this helps you. If not, let me know. Happy to explain in further detail. So eidl.me to get one-on-one support and access to this. Finally, I'm sure it's been a long week for you. Hope you have a great weekend ahead. I'd love to hear in the comments, what are you up to this weekend? I'll drop what I'm up to. So leave that comment. Thanks for subscribing, giving this video a like. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.